73. So let us start where we live today. Let me tell you that what happened so far. That Evans, he had been confined as a criminal in that Oxford jail, HM prison Oxford, and he got the permission for appearing German O-level examination. Now he was appearing in the examination from his cell where he was kept in that jail. On the day of examination, the senior prison officer Jackson and junior prison officer Stephens, they had come to visit Evans on the day of examination at around 8:30 in the morning, and they exchanged, the conversation started. Now it has been stated that Evans had already fled from the jail for 3 times. So he and senior officer Jackson, they were actually enemy to each other. And actually Evans was about to save his beards. Then Jackson came, and Evans told that he was about to. I was just going to save when you burst in. That Evans told. And at this, Jackson actually had given this order to Stephens, the junior prison officer, that whenever Evans would complete his saving, he should take the razor away from him. And not only that, he told that one day he would do them a favor by cutting his own throat by a razor. Actually, he told this as it has been stated that really Jackson and Evans were enemy to each other. So we completed up to these last day, that one of these days he will do us a favor and cut his bloody throat. Jackson told this. Why? Because yes, as if Evans has become a liability to the jail, because he has thrice escaped from the jail, and it would, if for the 4th time, if he would escape from the jail, with the excuse of appearing at the exam, then it would be a great setback for the jail, and it would be a bad name for the jail authority as well. That's why Jackson told that he would do us a favor by cutting his throat one day with the razor. For a few seconds, Evans looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight in front of him. A string of Second World War medals proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. This has been stated about Jackson. Now, Evans saw that a man was standing ramrod here. Ramrod means being very strongly built, very strongly. The man was standing straight, and by the left side of his chest, there was all the medals were there, including the Second World War medals. Mr. Jackson, now Evans asked this to Jackson. Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Evans had always worried about his hands. Actually, it has been stated that Evans was kleptomaniac. Kleptomaniac means he had the habit of stealing something. So narrator told that he was very much worried about his hands. So he told that he asked this to he asked this to Jackson, the senior officer, whether he had taken his nail scissors. Nail scissors means nail cutter. Evans could not find his nail cutter. So he was asking to Jackson, the senior officer, whether he had taken it from him, he had kept it with him. And your nail file too. Jackson told, not only the nail scissor means nail cutter, nail file too. Nail file also that it used to sharp the nail scissor. The nail file, and also used to blunt that sharp part of nail. So this is nail file too. Look. For a moment, Evans's eyes smoldered dangerously, but Jackson was ready for him. Smoldered means burned slowly. Just listening these, that Jackson had taken nail file and nail scissors, as if his eyes got burned. Evans's eyes started to smolder and smolder dangerously, and Jackson was also ready, because if Evans would attack him, Jackson was also ready for him. He was very robust. Orders of the governor, Evans. He leaned forward and leered, and then he told Evans, and this was the order from the governor. The governor ordered me to take these things from you. And then after telling this, he leaned forward. Lean forward means he just moved, bent forward and leaned forward and leered. Leered means looking in a malicious way, in a very harmful way, envious way. Jackson was looking towards Evans and told, his voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. Contemptuous means hateful. He just came closer to Evans. He just bent forward, came near Evans and told that what he told, you want to complain that I have taken this, you want to complain. That Jackson told this. Evans shrugged his shoulders. Shrugged means just moved his shoulder like this. Likely the crisis was over. Yes, one crisis was about to form, because Evans and Jackson, as if they were two enemies, and as if they could start fighting from this. So the crisis was over. You have got half an hour to smarten yourself up, Evans, and take that bloody hat off. See the picture, page number 73. Evans was wearing a hat. So Jackson ordered him that you have only half an hour to smart yourself, to save yourself, and before appearing the exam, you must take up your hat. Evans put his right hand lovingly on top of the filthy woolen and smiled sadly. He just put his hand on the cap and on the hat and on the filthy woolen and smiled sadly. Do you know, Mr. Jackson, it's the only thing that's ever brought me any sort of luck in my life. Kind of lucky charm, if you know what I mean. And today I thought, well, with me examine all that. So he told with a very gentle voice, Evans told this to Jackson, that this hat always brought luck in my life. It's one kind of lucky charm to me. People always feel that one kind of dress or anything that some people are there that they always want to keep it with them, because they feel that these things may luck to them or always brings luck to them. So here also Evans told that this filthy bobble hat, it's very lucky charm for me. And today I'm going to appear in the examination, so I need luck the most today as I am appearing in the examination. So actually he wanted to tell, and that's that thing that with my exam and all that, and today I thought, well, could you understand, means he wanted to tell Jackson that he is not interested to take his hat off. Buried somewhere in Jackson was a tiny core of compassion, and Evans knew it. Evans knew that though Jackson, as if Jackson was senior officer, though Evans had fled thrice, though Evans and Jackson had a cold enmity in between, but still Evans believed that there was some compassion there in Jackson's heart, and that Evans wanted to take advantage of it. Just this once, then Shirley Temple is popular child actress of 1930s, American popular child actress. If there was one thing that Jackson genuinely loathed about Evans, it was his long wavy hair. Loathe means hatred. Actually, Jackson allowed Evans to wear this hat. He was telling this, just this once, then Shirley Temple, he told Shirley Temple, because Evans was very good in mimicking various artists. So he told that Shirley Temple. And another thing is that Jackson also Jackson had lots of hate for his wavy hairs. Jackson could not tolerate the wavy, filthy hair of actually Evans. So Jackson thought it would be better if he wear the hats so that he could hide these hateful hairs. And gate saving, Jackson told gate saving. So actually Jackson allowed him to wear the hat during the examination. At 8:45 the same morning, the Reverend Stuart McCleary left his bachelor flat in Broad Street and stepped out briskly towards Carfax. Now this McCleary is the parson, P-A-R-S-O-N, parson. He is the bishop, and he is to play the role of invigilator. So he needed to come to the jail because this is the day of examination. So at 8:45, actually he lives near this, last day we discussed that he is coming from St. Mary Margs, the church St. Mary Margs. So from his bachelor flat, he just stepped out at 8:45 in the morning. This is McCleary. The weatherman reported temperatures considerably below the normal for early June, and a low black overcoat and a sallow crowned clerical hat provided welcome protection from the steady drizzle which had set in half an hour earlier, which now spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. Now this is the dress of McClary. What he stated? That the weatherman, this is the weather report, the temperature would be low in early June, and it was steady drizzle. Drizzle means, drizzle means, very low rain, very thin raining is there. Drizzling means, very slowly it was raining. So he was wearing a black overcoat with a sallow crowned clerical hat. He was wearing a clerical hat and black overcoat, that McClary. And not only that, that provided welcome protection from the steady drizzle which had set lenses of half an hour earlier, which was spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. Here spattered means covered. This is the lenses of the spectacle as it is drizzling, so this lens is covered with water drops. So he was wearing the hat so that water drops, that is drizzling, that does not come on the lens of the spectacle. And this has been stated. In his right hand he was carrying a small brown suitcase which contained all that he would need for his morning duties. And he was carrying a brown suitcase, and the suitcase contained all these documents that he would need to be an invigilator, including the question may come, recurrently question come, what does the brown suitcase of McClary contain? So these are the contents that actually are kept on brown suitcase of McClary. What was there inside his suitcase, including a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication card from the examination board, a paper knife, a Bible. He was to speak to the Women's Guild that afternoon on the book of Ruth, and a current copy of the Church Times. So these are the contents that the brown suitcase contained. These are the contents. It has a sealed question paper envelope, means inside the envelope there was question paper. A yellow invigilation form, he had to fill up the form before he should perform the duty of invigilation. A special authentication card from the examination board. Authentication, the word authentication is kept in double quote. It seems that these are the card. That card would prove that he is the genuine invigilator, and it has come from the board. He got this card. It is in double quote. I will tell the meaning later, why it is kept in double quote. And a paper knife to cut the envelope and all this. A Bible, as he was a bishop, so it was he was a priest, so it is very, very natural that he would carry a Bible in the suitcase, because, and not only that, these are the morning duty. After this duty would over, he would go to a Women's Guild. There he had to give a lecture on the book of Ruth. Book of Ruth is a chapter in the Bible, so he had to give a lecture on this chapter, book of Ruth. So he had the Bible in his suitcase, and a current copy of the Church Time is a newspaper. Church Time is a newspaper. So these are the contents that were kept inside the brown suitcase of McClary that he was carrying. And McClary had come out at 8:45 in the morning of the examination, and he was going to Oxford Jail, HM Prison, Oxford Jail, to be the invigilator of the O-level examination, where Evans is the candidate. The 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15. So these are also important. MCQ may come that what was the exact time when the examination was expected to start. 9:15. Evans was lathering his face vigorously when Stephens brought in 2 small square tables and set them opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk on the one side and on the other a distempered stone wall. Now, Evans was lathering his face. Lathering means he was putting this foam on his cheek before shaving, putting the foam on the cheek. This is lathering. And rigorously means strenuously. Strenuously was lathering his cheek before shaving. And that time Stephens, the junior prison officer, he had brought 2 small square tables and set inside the cell by the side of the bunk. Bunk, I told, these are the raised platform where Evans actually sit and lie down, opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk. And one side there was other distempered stone wall. Distempered means is discolored stone wall, and in between the bunk and stone wall he kept the square table. Means one table will be used by the invigilator, the other will be used by Evans. Next, Stephens brought in 2 hard chairs, the slightly less battered of which he placed in front of the table which stood nearer the cell door. Afterwards, he brought 2 chairs, wooden chairs, and the less battered, slightly less battered. Battered means broken. Means both the chair were broken, but which was less broken, he put the chair in front of the table, which table was nearer to the door of the cell. Jackson put in a brief final appearance. Behave yourself, laddie. In between, Jackson came, the senior prison officer, and he came. Behave yourself, because they were in afraid, because invigilator is coming. Invigilator is a very reverend, respected man. He is a person. He is a bishop. So if Evans would behave in another way, it would be, it would not be a good fame for the jail also. So Jackson here came and told Evans, you should behave well. Evans turned and nodded. Evans just turned to him and nodded as if he realized. And these, Jackson pointed to the pin-ups. Oof! And these, Jackson pointed up. Actually, he had put something on the chair. Now, Evans turned and nodded again. I was going to take them down away. A minister, isn't he? The chap coming to sit in? Means Evans has put something on the chair. And Jackson told her, what is this? Evans told her, okay, I'm going to take this all. Then he told, who is coming? A minister. He is coming to sit on the chair. And how did you know that? Asked Jackson quietly. Jackson told, how did you know who is coming here? Well, I had to sign some forms, didn't I? And I couldn't help. And he told, I had to sign some forms, I had to sign some forms before appearing in the examination. And I couldn't help telling this and all. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat sword in the white leather. Sword means ripped. Means he has just saved his cheek. Can I ask you something, Mr. Jackson? Now Evans told. Mr. Jackson was also standing there. Evans was still saving. Why did they have to bug me in the cell? He nodded his head vaguely to a point above the door. Now above the door of the cell, there was a instrument was fixed. This has been told as bugged. Actually, a microphone has been fixed above the door. This microphone would help the governor to listen what is going on, what conversation is going on in between the examinee and the invigilator. Actually, it was in the room sometimes, as we were accustomed in our school room, CC camera is there, but in that place of CC camera, it was a microphone has been installed, and this has been stated that it has been bugged. His room has been bugged. Means this instrument, this microphone has been fixed in that room, and that through that microphone, he could actually the governor of the prison, he could listen that what conversation was going on between the invigilator and Evans. So Evans was asking this to Jackson, that what was the required of this, that they have to bug me in the cell. No, a very neat job, consent Jackson. Not a neat job. Jackson told yes. Actually, ironically, Jackson told yes. Not a neat job, not a good job. They are not. They don't honestly think I am going to try to. Now Evans is telling, they means the prison authority. The prison authority could not honestly think that I am going to appear in the exam. He wanted to tell this. They are taking no chances, Evans. Jackson told. They are taking no chances, Evans. Jackson is telling to Evans. They are not taking chances. They means the prison authority, because you have escaped from the jail thrice. Nobody in his sense would take any chance with you. And Jackson told, nobody in his sense means nobody, if he is intelligent enough, he would not take any chance with you, because everybody knows what kind of person you are. Who is going to listen in? Evans is asking this to Jackson, that somebody would have to listen what conversation was going on through this microphone. So who would listen to this? I will tell you who is going to listen in. Laddie, it's the governor himself. See, now Jackson told, I will tell you. It's governor himself. Means governor himself would listen what conversation is going on in between you and the invigilator. He don't trust you a bloody inch. And he told that the governor would not trust you anything, and not do I. And I also don't trust you. I don't have any faith. I don't believe you. I do not trust you. I will be watching you like a hawk, Evans. So keep your nose clean. Clear? He walked towards the door. What does it mean, keep your nose clean? Means you must not poke your nose and other matters so that you could escape from the jail. Put your nose clean. Means as if Jackson was threatening Evans. You should not try anything else, because I would look you like a hawk. You know, hawk is a bird, and he is having very sharp eyesight. You should know that from soaring in the sky, it could spot out the prey. So Evans, Jackson told, I will be watching you like a hawk. So don't, and I told here, so claim. He walked towards the door. Evans nodded. He had already thought of that. And a number 2 handkerchief was lying ready on the bunk, a neatly folded square of white linen. And on the bunk he had folded a handkerchief, handkerchief. Just one more thing, Einstein. Yeah, what is? Good luck, old son. Now Jackson told him, though Jackson had enmity with Evans, but still Jackson bade him good luck. Old son. Why old son? Because he had been kept in the jail for many years. And that is why I told, old son, good luck. Jackson told this to Evans as well. Understood so far? So today it's time up. So today up to this, I told you that's very interesting, going to be more interesting. So keep on joining the classes and you will come to know what would happen next. Till then, today up to this, and again we will meet again in our next class. Thank you very much for joining my class.